This lecture covers an empirical example of linear regression model using MS Excel software package. Particularly, the true parameters of linear regression model are estimated via OLS method. Step-by-step calculations for the matrix case are demonstrated on a real dataset consisting of 51 states of US. If you are new to statistics or econometrics, then this lecture will surely help you in understanding the key concepts involved in estimation of regression parameters using OLS method. Even if you are an experienced researcher, you will definitely learn some useful tricks. So let's move to the real world example. The question we are interested in answering is, are SAT scores higher in states that spend more money on education controlling by other factors? The outcome or dependent variable in the data set is composite SAT score CSAT. Predictor or independent variables are per pupil expenditure, primary and secondary expense variable, percentage of high school graduates taking SAT exam percent variable, median household income in $1,000 income variable, percentage of adults with high school diploma high variable, percentage of adults with college degree college variable, and finally we have the region variable. Source of the data is this book, Statistics with Stata by Lawrence C. Hamilton, Chapter 6. And here we have the web link as well. To demonstrate the real world example, we have data in Excel spreadsheet with first column as state variable, the next one is the CSAT composite SAT scores, which is dependent variable in our case, and rest of the columns are independent variables. The first objective is to estimate a simple linear regression model taking CSAT as dependent variable and percentage of students who appear in the SAT exam as independent variable. So I'm going to copy these two, right click, copy, and then move to sheet 2, move to cell A1 and right click and choose paste. So here is the data on two variables. The first column gives the dependent variable CSAT and next column gives the independent variable percent. So our first objective is to plot this data set taking this percent variable along x-axis and taking this CSAT along y-axis by using a simple scatter plot, and see whether the relationship between these two variables is linear or not, or whether it forms a straight line relationship or not. So this can be done by simply selecting the data in column A and cut it and put it in column B. This is important because Excel takes the first variable along x-axis and second variable along y-axis while making a scatter plot. So that's why I have cut this data from column A to column C. So now we have data in appropriate position. So simply select both columns and go to the Insert tab and choose this scatter option and choose this dot plot. So here is the scatter plot of this data with first variable percent along x-axis and CSAT along y-axis. So from the graph you can see that the observations in CSAT, they range between 800 to 1200. In order to see this graph correctly, right click on y-axis and choose format axis. Format axis dialog box, change this minimum range to 800 and click on here. So now you can see that the minimum range is 800 and the maximum range automatically got adjusted to 1150. Here is the scatter plot where the variable along x-axis is the percent, which is independent variable, and the variable along y-axis is CSAT, which is dependent variable. From the graph we can see that relationship is linear as well as inverse, means as x variable increases, y variable goes down. This means that we can use a simple linear regression model to demonstrate the relationship between percent and CSAT. So in next sheet, I have copied this data here in the two columns. The first column is CSAT, I have labeled it as y, and the next column is percent, I have labeled it as variable x. Since we know that the relationship is linear, so we can write a mathematical model for these two variables, taking y as dependent variable and taking x as independent variable. Recall from your previous lecture that if we have one dependent variable and one independent variable, in non-matrix notation, this is the mathematical form of this linear regression model, where y is dependent variable and x is independent variable, and the model includes an intercept. Here beta 1 is y-intercept, beta 2 is slope, and epsilon is an error term assumed to be normal with mean 0 and variance sigma square. Mean 0 is expected value of epsilon equals 0 and variance epsilon equals sigma square. This is just to explain these two numbers 0 and sigma square. You may omit this notation. So the true parameters of this regression model are beta 1, beta 2 and sigma square. In matrix notation we can write this model in matrix form as big Y equals big X big beta plus big epsilon, where big epsilon is multivariate normal with mean null vector O and covariance matrix sigma square identity. And the true parameters in this case are this big beta, which is a vector having two components, 2 rows, 1 column, 2 by 1 vector. The next one is sigma square. If you look at the dimension of y, it is t cross 1. T means total number of observations. In our case, data starts at row number 2 and it goes up to row number 52. So there are total 51 data points. So t in our case is 51. So the dimension of y is 51 cross 1 and the dimension of x is t cross 2. So t means 51 cross 2. So 2 means 2 columns and 51 rows. So please note that the first column of this big X matrix is a vector containing all values 1, the vector of ones. The second column in matrix X is the values of this variable X, which is % in our case. So I'm going to insert a new column here, and here in this new column I am going to add a vector of ones. So now this is our X matrix. You can see that the first column is a vector of ones and the next column is vector of these X values. And then this beta is 2 cross 1 vector having these two components, beta 1 and beta 2. Since we know that these true parameters in matrix form or non-matrix form, they are unknown, unobserved, we can only estimate them. We can make a guess about these unknown parameters using some suitable method on some collected sample data. So here we have the data now, so we can estimate these true parameters using some suitable method. One method that we have discussed so far is the ordinary least square method. So we have a hat on this beta. Beta hat is an estimate of this true parameter beta. It is equal to x transpose x whole inverse x transpose y. Similarly, we have an estimate of this true parameter sigma square, which is sigma hat square, and it is equal to RSS over t minus k, where RSS is residual sum of squares, and this can also be written as E transpose E. Our t minus k, where t is total number of observations and k is number of columns in this big X matrix, which are 2 in our case. So t is 51 and k is 2. So 51 minus 2. And by the way, this E transpose E, it can also be written in this form. So RSS has two different forms. One is this form, E transpose E. It is called the form in matrix notation, and this one is without matrix notation. So this is E t square, and small t ranges between 1 to t whole over t minus k as it is. So these three forms are mathematically equivalent. So sigma hat square is RSS over t minus k. And now the last thing is, what is this E? So E's are the residuals, is the difference between actual y value and estimated y value, and where this y hat is equal to x times beta hat, where beta hat is given by this formula. First objective is to estimate this beta hat. If you look at the formula of this beta hat, it is x transpose x whole inverse times x transpose y. So it means we first need to calculate x transpose and then multiply it with x and then take its inverse, and finally we need to calculate x transpose y and we need to multiply this x transpose y with this x transpose x whole inverse. The order of this X matrix is 51 cross 2. So 51 rows and 2 columns. First step is to calculate X transpose. In Excel, this can be done by first calculating this X transpose matrix. Look at the dimension of this X matrix. So its dimension is 51 rows, 2 columns. So if you take its transpose, it will be 2 rows, 51 columns. So changing rows into column is called the transpose. It's good habit to write the order or dimension of resultant matrix below that matrix. So now we need to calculate this X transpose. Before calculating it, make sure you need to highlight the required number of rows and number of columns. So currently the order of this X transpose matrix is 2 rows, 51 columns. So you need to select 2 rows. So currently we are in column M and row number 34 and 35. So we have selected 2 rows and 1 column M. So we need to select 51 columns. Press the shift key and press the right arrow key, and this here you can see that we have selected so far 2 rows and 27 columns. Keep going till 51 columns. So here it is, 2 rows and 51 columns. Once you are done highlighting the required number of rows and columns, put an equal sign. It will get typed at the first row and first column position. And now since we need to take transpose, so just type transpose. So this array means the matrix X, because we are interested in taking the transpose of this matrix X. X matrix starts at B2 and it goes up to C52. Close the parenthesis. Instead of pressing enter key, press control key, keep pressing it down, and then press the shift key, keep pressing it down as well. Now you have two keys pressed, and then press enter key. So it means you need to press control, shift and enter 3 keys simultaneously. Once you do this, you will see that the first column, which was vector of ones, has now become the first row, and similarly the second column becomes second row. So this is how a transpose can be taken within this Excel spreadsheet. So now if you look at this formula, we have calculated this X transpose. So multiply this X transpose with X matrix. So right here X transpose X. So now again you need to add the dimension of this X transpose X matrix below it. So look at the first matrix. It is X transpose and its dimension is 2 rows 51 columns. So right here 2 rows 51 column, 2 cross 51, and then after a space the dimension of this second matrix, which is X. So its dimension is 51 rows and 2 columns. So now in order to calculate the dimension of this product X transpose X, the middle 51 will get cancelled and the resultant matrix will have 2 rows, the number of rows in first matrix and the number of columns in second matrix. So its order will be 2 cross 2. So it means now in order to calculate this X transpose X, you need to highlight, you need to select 2 rows and 2 columns. So currently we are in column M and row number 38, and now I have selected another row 39 and column N as well. So we have selected 2 rows and 2 columns. Once you are done with the selection, put an equal sign and then type M. M stands for matrix, MULT, mult for multiplication. So this is the command Excel to calculate the product of 2 matrices, mmult, and now the first argument, the array 1, it is X transpose, and comma array 2, it is this X matrix. So X transpose, select this full range and put a comma here. So this is M34 to BK35, and then the second argument is array 2, which is this X matrix. So X matrix is here at the top. So it starts at B2 and it goes till C52. So once you are done with this, so here are the calculations. So B2 to C52, close the parenthesis, and again you need to press Control, Shift and Enter simultaneously. Press the Control key, then press the Shift key, and finally press the Enter key. So here is the result, X transpose X. So now the next step is to calculate this. We have X transpose X. So now we need to calculate its inverse, X transpose X whole inverse. Luckily we have the command for finding inverse of a matrix in Excel as well. So X transpose X inverse, cap sign -1. We have this matrix X transpose X, its dimension is 2 cross 2. We need to take inverse of a 2 by 2 matrix. Recall that inverse of a 2 by 2 matrix is 2 by 2. So it means you need to highlight 2 rows and 2 columns in order to calculate inverse of this X transpose X. So put an equal sign and then type M for matrix. By the way, Excel is case insensitive. You can type the commands in small letters and even you can type the commands in capital letters. I'm just using the capital letters because it is good to eyes. M inverse and select this X transpose X matrix, M38 to N39. Close the parenthesis, Control Shift Enter simultaneously. So this completes this first part, X transpose X whole inverse. Now the next task is to calculate this product, X transpose Y, and then we will multiply these two products together to get this beta hat. So now look at this second portion, X transpose Y. So we need to multiply X transpose, that is already with us here, X transpose with Y. So Y matrix is in column A. So you need to multiply these two matrices to calculate this X transpose Y. So write here X transpose Y, and before doing any type of calculations, write the order of these two matrices. So order of X transpose is 2 cross 51. So write it here, 2 cross 51, and with a space, order of this Y. So look at here, Y is located in column A. It starts at row number 2 and it goes up to row number 52. So its order is 51 rows and 1 column only. Go to this cell and write its order. So number of rows 51 and number of columns only 1. That's it. So middle 51 will get cancelled, so the resultant part will be 2 cross 1. So it means you need to highlight 2 rows and 1 column, so row number 45 and 46 and column M. So now again these two are being multiplied, so put an equal sign and type M for matrix, MULT for multiplication, and the first argument here is X transpose. So you need to select this X transpose here and then put a comma, and then the second argument is this array 2 is Y. So select this Y variable at row number A2, cell A2 to cell A52. Close the parenthesis and press Ctrl Shift Enter simultaneously. So now we have calculated this X transpose Y, and before that we have this X transpose X whole inverse as well. So we have both the components with us, X transpose X whole inverse and X transpose Y. So now we need to multiply these two to calculate this beta hat. So how we can do that? So type here beta hat, big B hat, X transpose X whole inverse into X transpose Y. So now I'm going to calculate this beta hat. So in order to calculate it, again you need to write the dimensions. The dimension of X transpose X whole inverse is 2 cross 2. So write its order below here. And then the second one is X transpose Y. So X transpose Y, its dimension is 2 cross 1. So write its dimension here as well. Again the middle two will get cancelled. So the number of rows in first matrix 2 and number of columns in second matrix 1. So 2 cross 1 is the required dimension of this beta hat, which is X transpose X whole inverse X transpose Y. So only one column M and row number 49 and 50. So put an equal sign, M for matrix, MULT for multiplication. The first argument is X transpose X whole inverse, comma, X transpose Y. Close the parenthesis and press Ctrl Shift Enter simultaneously. So this gives us beta hat. So you can see that it is a vector having two components. This first component beta 1 hat and the second component is beta 2 hat. We have estimated these true parameters. Beta 1 and beta 2 are the true parameters which are unknown, unobserved, and here we have obtained their estimates. So this is the estimate of true parameter beta 1 and we have labeled it as beta 1 hat, and the second one is minus 2.2381. This is the estimate of true parameter beta and we have labeled it as beta 2 hat. So beta 1 hat and beta 2 hat are the estimated parameters and they are the estimates, or they are called OLS estimates. OLS estimates because we have used ordinary least square method to estimate these parameters. So we have calculated this beta hat for this sample data. Now our objective is to calculate this sigma hat square, which is RSS our T minus K, and RSS is residual sum of squares. So it means we need to calculate residuals here. So residuals are given by this formula y minus y hat. So it means in order to calculate this residual, y is already given to us in column A. We need to calculate this y hat first. So in order to calculate this y hat, so you need to use this formula. So y hat is the estimated regression line or fitted regression line given by this formula x times beta hat. We have the matrix x with us. We have just calculated this beta hat using this formula. It means you need to calculate, you need to multiply these two to calculate this y hat. So move here and type here y hat equals x times beta hat. So before calculating it, you need to highlight the required number of cells. For that you need to write the order. So order of this big X matrix is 51 rows 2 columns. This is X matrix 51 rows 2 columns, and this big beta hat, its order is 2 cross 1. So only 1 column and 2 rows. It means you need to type here 2 cross 1. And now the middle 2 will get cancelled. 51 cross 1. So 51 cross 1 is the order of this y hat. So it means in order to calculate this y hat, you need to highlight 51 rows and 1 column. So I'm going to copy this somewhat here. So I need to highlight 51 rows and 1 column. Start at this cell. This is column D and row number 2. So we have highlighted one cell, so then 2 cells, it means 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows, and you need to go up to 51. So here it is. So we have selected 51 rows and 1 column. So this was the required order or required dimension of y hat. Put an equal sign, and now we need to multiply this x with beta hat. M for matrix, MULT for multiplication. The first argument is this big X matrix. Put a comma, and the second argument is this beta hat, and we have just calculated beta hat here. So here is the beta hat. Close the parenthesis and now press Ctrl Shift Enter simultaneously. So here is the y hat. This column gives us the fitted values. So if you look at actual value of y at position 1, it is 991, and the estimated y value at first position is 1006. This means that it overestimated the actual value. So 991 was the actual value and regression model estimated it as 1006. Similarly, if you look at here, 897 is the actual value and our model underestimated it. So now the estimate lies below this actual value. 897 is the actual value and the estimate is 842. So sometimes our model overestimated the actual value and sometimes it underestimated actual value. So if you copy the original y values and put them here adjacent to this, and if you make a scatter plot of these three variables, taking this percent variable along x-axis and taking these two variables along y-axis. So simply select these three variables, go to the Insert tab and choose Scatter and choose this first option. On this blue variable which is representing y hat, right click and select Change Series Chart Type. Here in the y hat, choose this different scatter option. So now you can see that we got a straight line. This was the objective of this modification. So click on OK button. Now again you need to keep this y scale between 800 and 1200. So click on this y-axis and right click and select Format Axis, and in this dialog box change this minimum to 800. The maximum automatically got adjusted to 1150. Clearly you can see that the fitted line is negatively sloped and it fits the data reasonably well. Right click on this graph and move this chart. So select New Sheet, this radio button. This is actual versus fitted plot. Actual y values and the fitted y value plot. If you click on any dot, look at this Excel tooltip. X value is 5 and y value is 10, 31. If you trace this point here, the x is same 5 but the y value is 10, 12. So here the y value is 10, 31 and here the y value is 10, 12 with same value of x which is 5. So it means the actual value, it is now being underestimated by this regression line. So the difference is the residual. So y minus y hat is the residual. Similarly, if you look at this dot that lies below this line, its x value is 4 and y value is 997. And if you trace this dot upward to meet it at this regression line, the x value is same 4 but the estimated y is 1015. So it means when x is 4, the actual y value is 997 and now the regression line overestimated this y value to 1015. So the difference again is the residual. So actual is 997 and the line overestimated it. If actual value lies above this regression line, the residual will be positive, and if actual value lies below this regression line, the residual will be negative. So some of the residuals are positive and some are negative because some of the data points lie above this fitted regression line and some of the data points lie below this fitted regression line. So some residuals are positive, some residuals are negative. So overall, if you take the sum of all the residuals, that will be 0. So all the residuals, the positive ones and the negative ones, cancel out with each other. Now since you got the idea, so here in this cell I am going to calculate the residuals. So y minus y hat. So actual value minus the fitted value or estimated value. So here is the actual value or in this cell as well. So actual value minus this fitted value. So y minus y hat. So here is the residual. Simply copy this command downward. So here you can see that the residual is positive because actual value is 897 and the estimated value is 842. The estimate is less than the actual value, so the residual is positive. And here actual value is 991 and the estimated is greater than the actual value, so that's why the residual is negative. And now we need to verify that the sum of residuals is 0. So calculate the sum of all these residuals. Press enter. So here it is 8.75389 E minus 12. E minus 12 means it is 0.000 11 times zeros, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and then 8.75. So you need to write now without decimal point, 875389. This is how we can write the number in scientific notation to non-scientific form. You can see that this is almost 0 to the 11 decimal places. So we have verified that this sum of residuals is 0. So this is the first checkpoint in your calculations. If this sum is not 0, then this means that you have made some mistake. So make sure that this value is 0. The next task is to calculate the second parameter, sigma hat square. In order to calculate sigma hat square, we need to multiply this E, the residuals transpose, E transpose with E. Or you can simply calculate the square of the residuals and take their sum. I'm going to use both methods. So first I'm going to take the square of residuals and going to take the sum. So this will give us RSS. Here you need to calculate squared residuals. So it means square each single value. So F2 square, and copy this command downward till here. So this column is giving us the squared value of residuals, and now we need to take the sum in order to calculate sum of squared residuals. So now you need to calculate this summation or sum of these values. So here come to this column at the end and use this sum command. Press enter. This is RSS, residual sum of squares. I'm going to highlight it. Now alternatively we can use this formula as well to calculate RSS. So E transpose E, this is the product of this. So we have this vector of residuals. This is E. Its dimension is 51 rows 1 column. So now first calculate E transpose and then multiply E transpose with E. You will get E transpose E, the product, which is RSS. So how it can be done here in Excel, I'm going to do it here. So E transpose E, the dimension or order of this E is 51 rows 1 column. And now look at the first vector. It is E transpose. E transpose, its dimension will be 1 cross 51 and then E, which is 51 cross 1. So when you multiply these two vectors, so middle 51 will get cancelled. So the final answer is 1 cross 1. So it means you need to highlight 1 row and 1 column. So currently I am in column G, row number 56. So G56 is the highlighted cell. And now I'm going to multiply these two. So M for matrix, MULT for multiplication, and now the first argument in this matrix multiplication is E transpose. So it means this array 1 is E transpose. Since we have not calculated E transpose before, so I'm going to calculate E transpose here within this multiplication. So write transpose and then the array is the E. So select these residuals. That's it. Close the parenthesis. So now this command will calculate transpose. So transpose of residuals, and then we need to multiply these E transpose with actual E. So put a comma here and then the again residuals F2 to F52. You can simply type the cell address as well. So F2 colon the two vertical dots F52. That's it. So this command will calculate E transpose, the transpose of the residuals, and then finally it will multiply this E transpose with this E without taking transpose. So E transpose E, and now you need to press Ctrl Shift Enter simultaneously. So look at this number. This is E transpose E, which is also RSS. This is exactly the same as we calculated using the summation notation. So you can adopt any of the two methods. Now finally, in order to calculate this sigma hat square, the OLS estimate of true parameter sigma square, so sigma hat square is RSS over T minus K. T in our case is 51, K in our case is 2. So 51 minus 2, that is 49. So divide RSS by 49. So here I am going to make the calculations. So sigma hat square, it is RSS over T minus K. So that I'm going to calculate now. So it is RSS, which is located here in this cell, divided by T minus K. You can directly write 49, or you can simply type here T, which is 51, minus K, which is 2. That's it. So here is the result, sigma hat square. So this completes our calculation of the second parameter. So now we have calculated the OLS estimates of true parameters beta hat and sigma hat square.